Hey up guys, what's going on and welcome back to York City, where after two 1-0 losses, one reasonable performance, one less than reasonable performance, we left with 0 points out of those two games. Two good signs though, in fairness. The Palace performance was a little worrying. Poor performances in general are a little rare for us. We may not necessarily get the points, but we often put in a decent performance. Like the Forest result, which despite a 4-2 scoreline, we were the better side, for instance. Wigan, however, 0-0. Dull. Bruce is in charge of that. Despite the fact he was sacked by Middlesbrough for poor results, Wigan decided to hire him to get them out of the relegation zone. I don't understand that decision, but 0-0, he got a point against us after we beat him on the opening day. Oxford turned up at York and scored 3 goals against us. It was a mad first half. Hugh King coming off the bench and saving us the point, in fact, in that one. 87th minute, that equaliser. Actually shoved 2 up front at that point to get that equaliser, and it paid off. No further goals, though. A very similar situation actually happened in this game. Shoved Hugh King on very late on, and Madeira got one back late in the game, but sadly we couldn't find that last little push to get an equaliser here at Luton, who are having a decent season, has to be said. A little bit disappointing performance. I would say it's a disappointing performance, actually. I need to show you this. Okay, firstly, that's the situation here. 18 shots, 9 on target, 2, 8 and 5 on target. Okay, 9 to 5, not massively in our favour, but in our favour. They scored 3 goals from no clear-cut chances, or chances at all. It's almost as if clear-cut chances mean absolutely nothing in this game. We had 3, and 7 half chances, scored 2 goals. They had nothing. No chances at all and scored 3. Please fix this. Like, I don't care if we don't convert clear-cut chances as such. I care the fact that what are clearly chances because they scored 3 goals aren't being recorded as chances. Even half chances, for crying out loud. Fulham 1-1. Decent result. Actually, they're doing quite well, Fulham, as you'd probably expect. They scored, we equalised. And then finally, after a rotten December of 3 points from 6 games, we beat Preston 2-1. Tom Barkhuizen scoring his first goal of the season in January. That's an annoying trend that continues 5 seasons in. Real Madeira, 2 goals, 1 penalty, 1 normal. Funnily enough, before his second goal, he was on a 6.6 despite scoring. But then I had to take him off because he got injured, because that's the way things go right now. Ebersbach's also injured again after playing about 2 games. But today is all about York versus Sunderland. First and foremost, we will play the league match that follows. Funnily enough, Shao is suspended from this. He is still injured, I think. He's back sort of in a week's time, so he'll be back in training for the next match, but he may not be in the team, just because it's been a long old injury. I suspect he'll need a little bit more recovery time. But yeah, Ebersbach's out, Madeira's out for this one, which does mean the player that's just turned up on the 1st of January will be starting this match. But yes, we are favourites for this. Of course, this is the team that James Clark went to after we couldn't really abide his ridiculous wage demands. Yes, a very brief re-welcome for Enrique Jesus Alonso. I have showed you his page before, but not obviously since he's been here, because he has developed in the meantime. He's looking pretty decent overall. Determination, wish it was a little bit higher, but it's not bad either. Dribbling's good. A lot of borderline stats. A lot of these are 13s, which would have been obviously yellow in the previous year. But yeah, he's 18, obviously. He joins us at 18 like this. 3 stars, left-hand side, inside forward. Naturally, in the first place, don't need to even try and have to retrain him as such. He's strong on his left foot, which means inside forward on this side isn't too bad either, if we need him to do that. But he's very, 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 very good, in my opinion. Or will be very good as well. Premier Division potential, according to this. And that's really what we need at this point, because we've got a lot of players whose potential is the Championship, which is great, because that's where we are. But by the time we get out of the Championship, hopefully in a couple years' time, few years' time, we're going to need players that will be able to stick around with us a division up and help us stay up then. And hopefully if we've got Premier Division level players by the point where we actually get into the Premier League, that's all fine and dandy, isn't it? And hopefully if we have a few overperforming players alongside them, that'll be nice too. So the team for this Sunderland match in the FA Cup 3rd round is Dutra, Davila, Borges, Medina, Burrows. Not quite sure why I've actually left Edgar out of this one, but I think it's just because I feel like it. Gonçalves is in the defensive midfielder role with Carter and Squires up front. It's just an opportunity to give Carter a start, really. Nacel's been in there. Still averaging 7.3 for the season overall. Picked up a little bit in general. Velasquez is a smidge tired, so that's why Squires starts there. Alonso and Lee Tao on the wings and shot up front. Because why not? Doesn't really matter which striker we have up there. Barely makes a difference. And Lee Tao needs a ridiculously high number because we don't have any others. I'll give him 42. That was once Ebbers back. It's almost like a ritual for January signings. Pick up where you left off because that was actually a genuinely great performance against Preston. The 2-1 scoreline with Preston is actually a little flattering to them. It should have really been a little bit more decisive than that, but I'll take a win after the December we had. And after 2 minutes of this game, there is a highlight with Lee Tao running down the right-hand side for us. Whipped in. Alonso's there. That's, well, the best signing I've ever made. That's how to make a debut against a team a division below you. Cheeky little dink by Lee Tao. Back to Burrows there and curled in for Alonso to head in. Didn't really see how tall he was, but he's headed that one in quite nicely. He doesn't seem to be a diminutive winger at the very least. No, 192 centimetres. He is well over 6 foot tall. Almost a little bit of rarity for wingers is that old height. But that is definitely going to benefit us playing from one side to the other. Like this, Lee Tao inwards to the middle, shots blocked, and that was the highlight. I do notice a lot of Arsenal's younger players have abandoned them. Obviously, Martinelli's at Watford. I've just seen Smith Rowe score for Wolves. Davila's taken a knock. Fantastic. Feistamel is actually back fit, if not match sharp. It's a bruised ankle. It may twang a little bit, but it's not an injury. Alonso back to Davila, who is coping very well with his bruised ankle. Tackled, but regathered. Right, that's not the end of that highlight, obviously. Newman. Where is Clark, by the way? Is he at right back? Is he number 2? Yes, he is. There he is. Ended on the ball here. What has Dutra done? What has Dutra done there? Oh, no, he scored. James Clark, of all players, has scored. I think Dutra forgot that Clark wasn't going to be the one passing it to him for a moment there. In fairness, considering where he is, it's a decent finish. He's clearly onside. There we are. We can see the lines now. Yeah, from where he was on the pitch, actually, that was still a decent finish to get it on target from there. And it's an annoyingly even game. It's not even as if that goal was a result of us weakening a back line without Edgar. It was entirely Dutra's fault, that one. Alonso's there again. That's basically nearly gone in. Almost a Schmeichling. I'm going to say I'm not pleased because we're not winning. They're a division below us. Come on, guys. We are sort of comfortably-ish mid-table in the Championship at this point. Probably just about as far away from the playoffs as we are. Actually, no, I think we are still closer to the playoffs than we are relegation. Carter scored 2-1. That's better. His first goal, in fact, as well. It's a well, it's supposed to be a day of debuts. Day of first goals, at the very least. Although it might be. Is Carter's first start in the role that they keep telling me to put him in? I have started him in the ball-winning midfielder role when Wilson's been unavailable, but quite often my assistant manager tells me to replace Nacelle with him. This is the first time I've actually done that. And he scored. Davila is very, very tired, though. And I did put Feistamel on the bench because I'm an idiot. He is available. What this does mean is I'm going to have to shift Medina out and bring Edgar on in the middle. Davila is shattered. Burrows isn't going to fare too much better, but 20 minutes he'll be alright. And I think we'll bring Velasquez on for Squires, who is an infinitely better Mazzala. Like I say, obviously Velasquez wasn't really... He was on the borderline of being fit enough to start, but I figured it's, FA Cup against a team in a division below. Don't really need to push him if we don't have to. Alonso backwards to Wilson. Carter. Wilson. Clark's intercepted that one. Hello again. Pollock. Back to their Fitzwater. Hoof directly upwards. And they're on the end of it. But what's happened here? Oh, is this a red card? Or are they about to score from this? It's a red card. Lovely. And I just took Squires off, which is annoying. Deep line defend for Carter then. Mazzala bring him off the attack version. Along with everyone else. Don't need to change anything, I don't think. I just need to sort of bring people back off their mentalities. Resulting free kick is going to begin a highlight here, and Dutra saves. I think it was missing. It looked like it was in 2D, but I'd rather him actually show that he can save it than not. And they've gone very attacking, I think. We will come off that now and just go a little bit more balanced. offside resulting. Doesn't mean Wilson is obviously unavailable for the next round. And while they're very attacking, we'll just go a bit more cautious. Do have a third change we can make here. Just James Collins up front, I think. Just see this out, give them something to think about. A little bit more experience at the top if we need it. Nope, we don't. 2-1. Whew. You're surprised that York have been able to win this one. Have you seen the divisions? Actually, how are Sunderland doing this year? 10th. Have you seen the divisions? Good win. Fine. We've got a full week till Hull, so that's okay. Hello. Portugal boss is looking at our players. I mean, I understand Dutra because he is brilliant. Wilson is obviously pretty good. Obviously not really done brilliantly in the eyes of his Portugal manager there. But he is good championship level and he actually doesn't have that much development room. So I'm a little bit surprised by that one. Dutra obviously does have that development room and is already brilliant. So just quickly scanning for any surprises. Nope. No surprises. Definitely no surprises. So back here in the championship, we're travelling to Hull, the KCOM Stadium, against our supposed arch-nemesis, Hull. As I suspected, Shao back, passing a fitness test, given 45 minutes of action, but he's obviously nowhere near that if you look at the actual thing, which you can barely do behind my face. Yeah. So, the lineup for today's match against Hull will be the following: Dutra, Davila, Borges, Edgar, Burrows. Edgar obviously back in the first team. Lentas because Wilson is both A, injured, B, suspended from the league as well. I suspect that one is yellow card build-up. Lascelles and Velasquez back in the midfield. Of course, Alonso and Litao will continue where they were, and South up front for this one. Figured if Hull are our enemy, then South will understand that, because he's homegrown club and actually one of our youth products. I would love a youth product to be Premier League level in the long run. I don't think South is. I think he's championship potential. But nonetheless, away we go. So attacking, we're away from home. There we are. But yeah, Lentas is that natural ball-winning midfielder in the middle. I say natural. He's not 100% at it, but that is his position. That is his position at the very least. And he can do anchorman, so really he should be okay. We're underdogs. I feel like we're always underdogs. They do seem to still be treating us like we are a League One side when it comes to reputation, which is probably fair and probably accurate, but also incredibly annoying. Also, just a quick note on top of the table, Sheffield United have completely capitulated. They are now 9 points off automatic promotion, where Sheffield Wednesday and Leeds are currently residing. The rest of the playoff picture is actually incredibly tight still, though. Brentford 46 points all the way through to Crystal Palace in, well, they were 9th there with 42, but clearly they've gone ahead. And I clearly don't have the right... There we are. Scores on. But now it's even tighter. 46 through to 44. 43 in 9th. 3 points separates those 6 teams. So yeah, we're not in that picture. We are 8 points behind as things stand. Nope, I could do maths. That's 6 points. We are 6 points behind as things stand, and we're way clear of relegation. 20 points with the current score lines. It is actually incredibly low scoring, the very bottom end of this. Davila, forwards, not quite. Irvine, Henriksen, forward to Walker. Well, that's gone a bit wide, but I do suspect that was the highlight. And a thrilling first half where we saw that one highlight, really. Responsive to the halftime talk, and South, well, my prediction was wrong. Details on a 6.3, Alonso's on a 6.5, South's on a 6.5. It's not gone brilliantly. At the top end of our pitch right now, as they come forward once more. Still got the possession. Ricochets off to Nelson over there. Laird. All the way back to Sarkic. Off to our right, their left. The 8s fight out for a little bit. Back to number 8 on this side. Wiles. Burrows gets it off him, and this highlight is a ridiculous length. Wiles has nabbed it off Burrows, and that's why. Wasn't worth it. Wasn't worth it. Wasn't worth the 3-minute highlight. Alright, Leetown's been shocking in this match. South hasn't been much better. Tempted to keep Alonso on just for momentum's sake, considering he scored on his debut. Although, well, nothing's happening. We'll go positive. Highlight. Though well, not my positively as triggered yet, but Hull on the ball. We've had 65% of the possession and the worst of the game. It's really weird. Alonso, Velasquez, Lentas hoofs it forward to no one really in particular. I know Shot was the target, but he was well marked and well beaten to the ball. Hold still on the ball here. Gone out wide to Laird now, finally. Some things look like it's going to be happening in this highlight. Another rubbish shot. Are Hull capable of firing a shot at more than 2 miles an hour? Yeah, Alonso's tired and not putting in the best of performance. So on comes Shanley. Injury time. I've not seen a single highlight in our favour in this match. Hello. Shot has rounded his fellow number 21 here and is ready to prepare his namesake. He's gone round the keeper and not quite a smash and grab, but that's one. What a way to get your second goal of the season. Jesus Christ. He's been here since the start. Shot. I mean, this is well played, in fairness. Goalie's made an absolute mess of it. And what feels like our first highlight is the only one that matters in this match, as we gain the bragging rights in this supposed rivalry. Great result. Terrible performance, really. Not terrible, but yeah, average performance. So that was a bit of an average performance. Oh, I did forget to actually bring you the FA Cup draw now, I realise. Burnley, again. On the one hand, we played them before. On the other, I kind of just want to get through the rest of January. Although it is 3 wins in a row in total now. Harvey just wants to get through January, though. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how I feel when we actually reach the Burnley match, whether or not we'll play it. Otherwise, we'll just bring you back after that. Because I feel like we've done a lot of episodes on this season already. That's my only concern, is having a very short gap again. Realistically, actually, the first 2 teams you haven't seen this season so far are Wigan and Forest, which is quite a long way away. And if we do get past Burnley, then there'll be an FA Cup match in here somewhere as well. Like I say, I'll see how I feel when we reach Burnley. Until then, potentially, ta-ra!